Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you today. Flare in the news. The countdown is on. We got SBF FTX recovery plan. That would be nice. Silvergate Bank, Barry Silbert's DCG group. It's not good, ladies and gentlemen. How about this one? Did China play a role in trying to stop XRP adoption in the United States? We're going to take a look at it. No crypto clarity for the next 2 years, says John Deaton and Ron Hammond, but does it include Ripple and XRP? We're going to take a look at that as well. And guess what else? Don't forget about ODL representing 90% of a $6 trillion market. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter at the top of the screen for exclusive content. $858 billion market cap for cryptocurrency. We're up 1.5%. Bitcoin right now, 16,900 plus. Ethereum is 1265 and change. Tether market cap is 66.3 billion, they say. And XRP is 34 cents. Let's take a look at this. It's up 24 hours, up 2.7%. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done it, I firmly believe that there will be companies that rise up out of the ashes the way that we saw the internet, birth of the internet, and companies like the Googles and the Facebooks and so on and so on. You guys know the drill. I think that moment is in front of us still when it comes to blockchain technology and crypto. And I think you can find a lot of those companies on this platform for link to. Not financial advice from me, but I would check this out. They're running an incredible special. You do have to be accredited. Check out my sponsor underneath the video. Click that link. The countdown is on. We're inside 72 hours to go, ladies and gentlemen, for the TDE, the token distribution event from Flare Networks. I know there are so many people out here excited, and I am one of them. We will keep you up to date as it unfolds. Right here is a little post that we need to get some information here from MetaLawman, former attorney James Murphy here, SEC litigator. Shout out to him. We had him on the show. SBF enters the FTX bankruptcy. It says hilarity ensues. SBF has just filed a pleading in the bankruptcy case arguing that debtors need to keep their hands off his Robinhood shares. Why? Because get this, he says he legally borrowed the money from Alameda to buy those shares. MetaLawman goes on to state here, he argues that it's very wrong for the court to assume that everything he ever touched is presumptively fraudulent. I believe the technical legal term for this is chutzpah. I wonder where he's getting the money to pay all these bankruptcy and criminal defense lawyers. What a great question, and shout out to MetaLawman for that. I tell you, the mitigated gall of this guy, SBF, is just it's astounding. However, the two halves of FTX, its debtors in the U.S. and liquidators in the Bahamas, have agreed on asset recovery plan, according to a January 6th press release. Now, I couldn't be happier to hear this news because I know so many customers were burned by the stealing of their funds. So I'm hoping that this is the first big positive step to whoever out here is hearing my voice as a customer on FTX, getting some of your holdings back. I mean, I know you have to be just upside down about it all, and I hope you get some resolution. Things seem to be going grim and to grimmer as Silvergate Bank, with a hit to the Moody's rating and a sell-off by ARK Investing from Cathie Wood. We covered that yesterday, but the bank already experienced a run and has been tied to the FTX collapse. And we know that digital currency group Barry Silbert owns Silvergate Bank, so it's all quite incestuous at this point, the way it feels. Federal prosecutors are looking at transfers between digital currency group and its Genesis lending unit. We know there was a squabble between Genesis and Barry Silbert just earlier this week, and now this is getting itself to a place where we're going to see an investigation here. That's what's happening here. The systemic cascading fallout is just staggering, what we're witnessing here. Now, this, I thought, was quite a topic that we should entertain here. I love this point of view. And first of all, shout out to Patrick Riley from Real Reaper. He says here, what China wanted, indeed, he believes, is not to allow XRP adoption in the United States, since it keeps America from going under. In this regard, he stated that the SEC lawsuit against Ripple Labs is not just a court case, it's a war, he says. We take a look at this, is exactly what he says here. CEO Patrick Riley has shared his take on the role XRP in the unannounced economic rivalry between China and the U.S., saying that the current Ripple lawsuit isn't just a court case, it's a war. Riley tweeted that China has been manipulating Bitcoin for years and did not sick its dogs on the leading crypto, even though it has banned crypto trading and mining in the country. What China wanted, indeed, he believes, is not to allow XRP adoption in the United States, since it keeps America from going under. In this regard, he stated that the SEC lawsuit against Ripple Labs is not just a case, it's a war. You know, all of this comes back to what is believed about the information that has been found by the Twitter sleuths in this space, suggesting deep ties between Hinman and China. I think that's where all of that is really stemming from Patrick's point of view, and it's certainly worthy of note. There is no question. Shout out to Patrick Riley right there. John Deaton says, if you're not a Bitcoin maxi and own Ethereum or any other altcoin, you should care about XRP, because what the Judge Torres decides about XRP is likely the only clarity we get for the next 2 years. How about that one? Well, I know everybody's hearing that, aren't you? Right? John Deaton shares his pessimism for the Blockchain Association's Ron Hammond, asserting that the ruling in the United States Securities Exchange Commission case against Ripple will be the only clarity crypto gets till Congress is overhauled in the next poll. The lawyer said this as he gave more reasons for people to care about XRP, which is at the center of a 2-year-long battle. According to John Deaton, a ruling against Ripple declaring XRP a security will give the SEC considerable leverage to go after other altcoins. And then that statement was made about really the SEC being able to embolden themselves. If the judge rules XRP is a security, it would embolden the SEC to go after other token projects. Don't forget, I think John Deaton has rightfully told all of us to pay very close attention about U.S. crypto exchanges being sued. This will be a way to get right to the heart of the matter, I believe, and I believe that Gary Gensler is going to do it, and John Deaton's right about him doing it. But let's listen very quickly to what Ron Hammond says here, even though it feels very bleak about that whole point of view, but it's very real. It could unfold exactly like that, and the case itself with Ripple and the SEC be the only clarity we get. And imagine if it in our favor, then XRP becomes the only one with clarity in the space. And I think something like that is going to happen, whether it's a favorable ruling or not. We're going to be the only ones with actual legal clarity. That's what I see coming, whether we like the ruling or not. Here it is. The crypto space has gone back to the basics of rebuilding, says Ron Hammond. Let's take a listen. I think he's got it spot on, and this is the way we're going here. Take a listen.
There's a positive update, at least from the crypto space. We've kind of gone back to the basics of like rebuilding pretty much. You know, we've gone to focusing on the tech, not talking about prices as much, not talking about the markets. We're focusing on building. And that's what I'm really seeing a lot here, which is really exciting to see all of what's being built by the developers, see all the minds here really working and collaborating together. That's been probably the coolest thing here. It's just that energy. And we really desperately need that, especially after the fallout of FTX. At least especially in Washington, D.C. It's pretty glum right now. It's pretty bad for the industry, and we're having an unfortunate time. But this really reinvigorates myself personally, but also I think a lot of the folks in the industry saying, we're back to building, we're back to doing what we do best. And I think that's going to show in the long run for crypto that we're here to stay for quite some time.
I think that's so spot on, because the truth is the real projects that have staying power are the ones that are building very real use cases to put this technology to work. You know, you guys know, you've been with me, listening to me for a long time. You know, I'm not into pump and dumps. I'm into real projects, and I'm willing to wait for them to actually grow and bloom. And what he said makes so much sense to me, because a lot of what's getting suffocated has been a false representation of something that's legitimate, like FTX, right? So the reality is we're seeing it all come crumbling to the ground. Now, with that being said, I start thinking, as I said and opened up this video, the real projects and companies that are going to breathe life into this tech because they have actual real application that will bring very real value to their business model. And I remind you, Ripple XRP on-demand liquidity represents 90% of a $6 trillion FX market daily. That's what they've grown to. That's the work they've been doing while still dealing with this case from the SEC for the last 2 years. Ripple has not stopped. I remind you, Brad Garlinghouse made the comment, we're acting as if we've already lost. That's why 95% of their customers are outside of the United States, because there isn't a damn thing that the SEC in the United States can do about that. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.